Oh, down here by the river, you know, get my cattle all ready. Looking good. Cattle's looking good. Looking real good.
Mr. Blakefield.
Oh, Mr. Smith, how are you?
Good.
Good. Oh, that was strange. Alright, we're looking good. We're not looking good. I don't feel too good. Life.
Okay, I am paramedic Gene Shepard, and right here we have Mr. Blakefield, who worked on a cattle farm in Orangeville, Canada, and we found him there dead at approximately 4:26 p.m. And a little bit before he was pronounced dead, he sent a text to his wife saying, "Help, help." So his wife got the text, and she didn't know what was wrong, so she called the police. And then the police arrived and found Mr. Blakefield dead. So here we are now in our laboratory, and let's get it going.
I'm Erin, and I'm a coroner. And as a coroner, we run some tests, toxicology tests, which would also classify me as a toxicologist. So we earlier received this case file, Mr. Blakefield. He was found on a cattle farm. So we thought maybe just like a heart attack or something, until we examined his body and we found a puncture wound. This puncture wound looked very suspicious. It's too big to be like anything normal. It had to be something odd. So we went back and we looked at the evidence that was collected from the case, from the scene. And there were some sharp objects, and the thing that stuck out to us was the syringes, because when we received him, we ran some toxicology tests on him. So a blood toxicology test and a urine toxicology test, and the urine and blood came back, and it was a little odd. It was there was a toxin in there that we had never seen before. It was weird. So we took the evidence and we examined the syringe for toxins, and it turned out that it was a cow. It was a cow injection. It was a cow toxin, and so a cow drug is what they call it on the cattle farm. And so we matched it up with the blood sample that we took and the syringe, and they matched. They were a match. So then we knew that the toxin in his body was the cow drug, which means that he was poisoned, which means that we had to find the killer and who it was. So from the case, we determined that we knew, the information that we knew was that he texted his wife at 4:23. So, and we arrived at the scene around 5:22. So we knew the time of death was between those two times. So then we went to our paramedic where we got more information.
Okay, so Mr. Blakefield works at the cattle farm. His boss, Mr. Smith, we were told by a witness that he was the last person to see Mr. Blakefield alive. So we also, we went to Mr. Smith, did some questions, did some blood samples and stuff, and he was determined to be the poisoner of Mr. Blakefield. So we are toxicologists, and we study the safety and biological effects of drugs, chemicals, and other toxins and substances. We determine their harmful effects, the dosages that cause those effects, and safe exposure limits. We work in facilities such as this one, and we're really here to figure out what really went down and how people get murdered with toxins and other substances like that.
So we As a coroner, we cannot arrest anybody, but we do work with the police officers, and our job is actually quite fun. We, as a toxicologist, we tell them who we think could be a possible suspect, and we also, we tell them who we think the suspects are and if it's a homicide, because if it's not a homicide, they don't need to look into it. So that's what we do here, and we just really love our job. We get to do things all day that are just so fun, and so we just love them, and so it's great. And we just really think if you're looking for something to do in the criminal law, be a toxicologist.
Take this forensics class. This is what we do. It's no joke around here.